This is not the apocalypse I thought we saw coming. Again, another video on the quote-unquote apocalypse and how it's not going to look like what we thought. And in fact, I said that it was going to be a lot slower. But there was something else, or rather, there is something else that is happening. Now, I spoke about this before, but the more cases that I see or acts of violence that I see, I'm like, this has to be it. This has to be the beginning of it anyway. And I think, guys, the part of the apocalypse that we are missing is the societal breakdown or psychological breakdown of people. What I've been reading over the last 2-3 weeks as far as people reacting badly to other people or kids is astonishing. Now, I've been in the EMS field for close to 30 years, 25 years, and I've seen, heard, read a lot of shit and a lot of stuff prior to the arm ticket being released. But, and I say the arm ticket because there's got to be a connection or something else is going on. But prior to, let's just say, Mr. 19 event, COVID, a lot of the stuff that happened were few far in between. And after Mr. 19, things got worse and the few far in betweens became closer together. And I started seeing, or rather we are starting to see more acts of violence, but like horrendous or heinous acts of violence that I've never heard of before. Now, again, guys, being in the EMS field, there's some stuff you see, there's some things you hear about, like the putting a baby in a microwave. That has happened probably half a dozen. I've never been on any of those calls, but I've known EMS guys who have been on those calls. Putting your kids in the oven, I've heard those calls before, but those were few far in between back then. Now, it's almost constantly. We're watching kids, more kids now, react badly as they are attacking their parents for various reasons. Some parents are telling their kids, no, I'm not getting you this, and the kid snaps and goes to work on the parent or parents, right? There was a case of a kid whose parents or grandmother told the kid no to playing video games or buying V-Bucks or Fortnite bucks or whatever it was, and the kid wind up taking the grandmother out while the mother and the daughter played dead. And I think he attacked the mother in the beginning, and the mother played dead with the daughter, and the grandson went to work on the grandmother. Then there was another case where a kid went to work on his mother because she said no to not buying him VR glasses. And I've never seen so many stories of kids reacting this way because the parents said no. Now, yes, you can add bad parenting to this because the parents probably gave the kid everything they wanted growing up. And when the parent, or rather the mother, finally put the foot down, this was the reaction of the kid. Now, I thought I read a story a month ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago, where a kid took out his whole family. But I don't know what the catalyst was. I don't know why it happened. But I thought I read something in regards to that. And again, it is happening more often than not. You have fathers, if you want to call them that, taking their kids out. One father just destroyed his kid's skull, left him in the hospital. It was a newborn, if I'm not mistaken. He goes outside to smoke a cigarette like nothing's happening. Then you have a guy who had a business, was well established, turns around and drowns his 9-year-old daughter. Not sure why. And I'm probably going to find out the update after the video, but still, I've never seen this amount of parents taking their kids out or kids taking the parents out. And the acts of violence that are going on just on random people has increased. Now, yes, some will go nationwide, violent crimes are down. Violent crimes might be down as a whole, but it's the matter of what's happening. And actually, domestic has gone up. Domestic has actually skyrocketed. And domestic does include, kids going after the parents or parents going after the kids, or, husband and wife and husband. Again, I think this is the beginning of what the apocalypse is supposed to look like, because more people are psychologically becoming unhinged. Psychologically becoming unhinged. And I'm watching people in the streets just do crazy shit. Guys talking to himself in a mirror. A full-on conversation. If I happen to do a live stream and we pass this dude, because I see him a lot, I'll show you what I mean. But this guy is sitting there like having a conversation like he's talking to a different person. It's him in a fucking reflection. Sorry. My point, guys, is that there are way more crazy people in the street. There are way more psychological issues. Now, again, there was an issue I talked about that happened here in the 90s where people were looking to get on welfare and they were taking psychological medications so that they can get more money. And in fact, it transcended down to their kids. And I think this is why we're seeing a lot of kids, at least here in New York, with psychological issues. But it don't explain half the adults that are all of a sudden snapping and going crazy and then staying there. And in some cases, parents are snapping, going crazy, taking out their family, and then having this regret like they didn't mean to do it, like something was controlling them. And I'm paying more attention to that and wondering if that's more of a Manchurian Candidate style kind of thing, or what is it called? MK Ultra kind of deal taking over on the regular person. And you're going to have these oddball people snap and do some crazy shit and then come to it and go, I didn't mean to do it, or it wasn't me kind of deal. But I'm starting to pay attention to that to see if that's starting to pick up. But nonetheless, guys, I think the apocalypse is going to look more like people losing their shit on top of whatever nonsense they release. Because like I said before, whatever's going to happen is going to be a multi-level, multi-stage, multi-facet apocalypse. It's not just going to be one thing. It's going to be a multitude of things. So there's something that we should, at the very least, pay attention to, because I'm not liking what I'm seeing, and it seems to be getting worse on a daily basis. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.